years, the sweeter is the feeling of being independent and having a safe haven for oneself in the form of a property. On that note, I'd like to go ahead with a special edition of Project Talk by PropTiger, where we're going to talk about senior living. I'm Sneha Sharan, your host for the day, and I have a distinguished panel with me today. Mr. Rajit Mehta is MD and CEO, Antara Senior Living. Welcome. Mr. Sanjay Bhatia is Director, Community Development at Antara. Welcome. Ms. Renuka Dudeja is Head Marketing and Communications at Antara. Welcome. And Rangarajan is Chief Operating Officer at PropTiger. Warm welcome to all my panelists. Now, before we move on, may I request Mr. Mehta and Mr. Rangarajan to give us a brief introduction about the companies they're representing.
Sure, Mr. Mehta, why don't you start?
Starting with you, Mr. Mehta.
Sure. Namaste to everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, and thank you for joining. I think the topic we want to discuss today is perhaps taken center stage in many forums across the world. And the current pandemic has perhaps accentuated the need to have a very strong and robust ecosystem to care for our elders, our parents, grandparents, uncles and aunts. And Antara is endeavoring to, provide one such ecosystem. We are part of a very large and respected group in India called, Max India. And we bring together very unique competencies of hospitality, real estate, and healthcare all together, which are very necessary to provide a safe haven, a secure system, for our elders. I will, of course, talk about, all the components as we go along. But once again, welcome and thank you for joining.
Thank you. Mr. Rangarajan.
Hi, so PropTiger is part of the Elara Technologies Group, and along with PropTiger, we have housing.com and makan.com as well. So PropTiger was started in 2011, and the company is funded by marquee investors such as News Corporation, Real Estate Australia, SoftBank, Axel with the partners. And we have served over 25,000 happy customers. One of the things about PropTiger is we always espouse the cause of the buyer, and our net promoter score is about 75, which is higher than even that of Amazon. We are particularly proud to be associated with this product because I think it is the need of hour. India is about 1 billion in terms of senior citizens aged over 60. And it's the fastest growing demographic segment in the world. And in this segment, the focus is more around wellness when it comes to living, rather than simply providing a home. And we're very proud to be associated with this product. And I'm really looking forward to being part of this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. So like I mentioned, we are exclusively focusing on senior living today, a segment that is asserting its space and significance in the real estate market. Our project in focus today is Max Antara, and for the benefit of our viewers, here's a small video that talks about the project and what it has to offer.
Proving its potential in the last 4 decades, Noida stands testimony to the fact that planned infrastructure is a base necessity to spur development. The 24 kilometers long 6-lane Noida Greater Noida Expressway and other big-ticket infra developments have been catalyst behind the rise of affluent residential and commercial sectors in Noida. This is evident from the fact that Noida has replaced Mumbai as the best planned city in India and is considered to be India's greenest city with nearly 50% green cover, and is all set to soar further heights with construction of Jewar Airport, which is due to begin. Noida is now developing as a new commercial hub in Delhi NCR. Due to Noida's infrastructure and planning, many top MNCs are setting up their offices here and is attracting a plethora of millennials to Noida. A prime destination for purchasing a home for one owns residence or for investment purpose in this growth corridor is Sector 150. Beautifully situated on the confluence of the Yamuna and the Hindon rivers, Sector 150 stretches across 600 acres of prime land. prudent land use planning with objective of keeping it as a low density area has ensured that only 20% of the sector has been reserved for construction activity. This includes residential, commercial, shopping and educational infrastructure. A massive 80% remains under greenery, while nearly 42 acres of land in Sector 150 has been set aside for parks and recreational facilities. Reputed builders are providing a range of residential projects in Sector 150, from budget to luxury apartments, plots of various sizes to exclusive villas as a part of co-op communities.
Max Group is well renowned for its commitment to nurturing the businesses of life. Our unique endowment and lineage of healthcare, insurance, hospitality, and real estate encouraged us to broaden our vision to become a platform with a host of life care, lifestyle, and hospitality offerings tailored to improve and enrich the quality of life for seniors. Senior living for us is about seniority and freedom. One such world of freedom is Antara, Noida, a retreat of international standards at Sector 150 near Noida Expressway. Spread over wide acres of land, surrounded by greens and pollution-free environment, throughout the year, Antara Noida Sector 150 brings to life a safety, well-being, comfort and companionship security all under one roof for our residents. At Antara, the endeavor is to make sure that our residents celebrate and live their lives with dignity, choice, liberty, and independently in a hassle-free and fun-filled ecosystem. Customized resident engagement programs are curated to offer an active and engaging life where care and overall well-being is at the North Star. Welcome to Antara Noida for senior living, one of its kind residential community.
Well, I'm sure our viewers want to know more as is clear by the number of audience questions up on my screen right now. We'll quickly move over to the questions now. Mr. Rangarajan, as someone who has seen various changes in the market over time, and Mr. Mehta, as a developer firm who caters these demand changes, I'd like both of you to respond to this. How would you explain senior living to our resident and non-resident viewers today? Beginning with you, Mr. Rangarajan.
Well, as I mentioned before, senior living is one of the fastest growing demographic segments in the world. And in India, there are over 100 million elderly people, and the numbers are growing. Uh, the needs of the senior population are very different, right? So when you talk about creating, a project for senior living for senior citizens, you've got to look at it from various aspects. First, you've got to look at it from a financial aspect because the incomes of such people are usually reduced. Second is physical, right? So the apartments need to be designed very differently. For example, you need to facilitate wheelchair use within the apartment, have panic alarm switches, have grab bars, have anti-skid tiles in the bathrooms, have different kinds of seating and different kinds of lighting. Third is the social part, and this is the most important part of, I think, any senior living project, in the sense that you have to facilitate creation of a community of people who can socialize and be active. Fourth is you also have to look at the environmental needs. So people at such ages are usually vulnerable, have one or more disabilities or diseases. So it's very, very important for them to live in a pollution-free environment with a lot of greenery. And I think Max has done a fantastic job in selecting Sector 150, uh, which is supposed to have about 80% open space, very well connected to the rest of Delhi NCR, is very, very green, and is relatively less polluted when you compare it with the rest of Delhi NCR and in fact even the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Mr. Mehta. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Mani, for that. I think, as Mani said, the challenges and requirements both of a senior population are quite distinct. And therefore, the space planning, the infrastructure, the safety, the security, the height of emergency buttons, the lighting in nights, the kind of materials we use, the rounded edge walls. So there's one part of difference. The second is the service, which is a medical support system, availability of doctors and nurses, an emergency response system, concierge services, a full-fledged club which offers cuisine. You need not cook at home, and it's ghar ka khana or home like home cooked food, an all-weather pool. So there are several nuances that go into a senior living community. So it's quite distinct and quite and caters to all the needs of seniors.
Thank you. Coming to you, Ms. Dudeja, now you have past experience in senior living projects. So tell us about your senior living project in Dehradun. What's the occupancy like? What's the profile of residents like and the facilities?
Sure, Sneha, thank you. So, Antara, Dehradun is our first community. We started started work of construction in 2013, and in record time of 3 years, in late of 2016, we started handing over possessions to our residents. In a short span of 3 years, on a community spread over 14 acres, there are little over 190 apartments, all designed very specifically, keeping in mind the needs of the seniors. We've complied with the American Disability Act, which is popularly known as ADA, to offer facilities to our residents who live there, ease of access, a step-free community, and all-weather access. A huge clubhouse, over 60,000 square feet clubhouse, which gives them opportunities to, interact, engage with each other. They have their meals in restaurants. We have a bar. We have spaces to play cards. We have a private theater for them. They really enjoy their movies. They have a beautiful library stocked with all kinds of genres to sit and read together. There are book reading sessions they have. We have an all-weather temperature-controlled swimming pool. They swim all around the year, which is very, very ecotherapy, especially for seniors, very important. They have salon, spa, gym, all designed specifically for seniors, keeping them fit, active, engaged. And we have a very unique resident engagement program. The team curates daily activities to keep our residents active, fit. Aging in place is the concept that one is working towards. Rajit already spoke about Ghar Ka Khana. The kind of residents, as you asked on the profile of them, well, they come from various walks of life. They are bureaucrats, there are some ex ambassadors, they are lawyers, they are entrepreneurs, all mix of very progressive individuals, well traveled, well read. They've become a big, huge family. They found companions in each other. Antara is like a brand new home for them. And right now, in the times of COVID, where everything is locked down, our residents are feeling extremely blessed of being together with each other. You know, we partnered with one of the best pioneers in senior living designs, which is two international experts. One is called Esteva, and the other are Perkins Eastman, who helped us design the community in Dehradun. We are right on the foothills of Missouri, on a land area called Purukul. Very pristine, very beautiful, pollution free, close to nature, beautiful views out there. Residents are having a really good time over there. Over 100 families are right now residing in Antara, Dehradun.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Coming to you, Mr. Bhatia. Now, Max Antara is in Noida right now. Why did you choose this location and what is the demand like?
Well, I will take you back to the beginning of Antara. Actually, all the Antara communities, they are results of a very extensive and deep research, both within the country and outside the country, to really understand the needs of the seniors, particularly the ones who are living independent of their children, the empty nesters, as we call them. Um, and having understood the needs like safety and security, healthcare needs, anxieties like what if something happens to my partner, and then the hassles of managing the homes, hassles of managing the domestic staff, maids, maids, drivers, cooks, guards, carpenters, painters, and so on and so forth. These were the lot of pain points shared by uh, people who responded to our research, in which was conducted in 6 different cities in the country. And our management team visited more than 50 senior living communities in the matured markets across the globe in US, UK, Japan, and Australia to really understand the fine nuances of senior living and the best practices. And having picked up these best practices, we designed our Antara value proposition for our residents, and we launched our first community in Dehradun. Um, a lot of residents, a lot of clients with whom we interacted, they found the whole proposition very attractive. But there was, for some of them, there was an issue of moving or uprooting themselves from the urban life and going to a distant place like Dehradun. Primarily, that was one reason of choosing community, choosing location for our next community in Delhi NCR. Second, the size of the market and the supply side, there is a absolutely lopsided imbalance. In Delhi NCR, we have more than 5 million seniors, and nearly 70% of them are living independent of their children. And on the supply side, in the organized sector, there are only 1,600 senior living dwelling units in Delhi NCR. So that obviously makes a very fit case for us to have our next community in Delhi NCR. And now within Delhi NCR, Noida, we all heard Mani talking about that Noida is the finest planned city with the finest infrastructure. Connectivity is absolutely beautiful. And within Noida, Sector 150 is one of the greenest sector with nearly 80% of the sector area under landscape greens and only 20% under uh, development for residential, commercial, and for shopping. So basically, this is the reason why we have chosen Sector 150 in Noida. Also, the finest healthcare facilities are also quite accessible, and Sector 150 is also billed as the sports sector with 2 golf courses, with football academy, tennis academy, which are under the master plan and will be coming up over there. So that these are the reasons why we have chosen Sector 150, particularly in Noida.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Rangarajan, if I were to ask you, is the Indian resident and retirement community prepared to move to senior homes? What would you say? How do you read the market there?
Sorry, I couldn't. Can you please repeat the question? I had
Is
some.
the Indian resident and NRI retirement community prepared to move to senior homes?
I'm sorry, having some internet trouble. So can you come back to the question a little later?
Yeah. Okay,
Uh,
fine.
may I help Sneha? I think what Sneha is asking is if the
Mr.
Indian community ready to
Yeah.
move to senior houses.
No, I really don't view this as like a senior housing, right? So typically in the US, when it comes to something like an assisted living, right? And I've visited, having lived in the US for many years, and when I view assisted living, it's not really like a community. It's almost like every person gets let's say a bedroom, and then there's a common kitchen, and here the good thing about what Max Antara has done is that they have created an urban format. It's almost like a high rise. It's not really a high rise. There's not as many stories as a high rise. But the way the whole project has been laid out, it certainly builds a community feeling, and it also gives the senior citizens out there a psychological feeling that they are all part of a community and they can still remain active, right? So if you look at the kind of amenities that they have, like yoga, gym, swimming pool, golf course, right, and the range of amenities they have in the form of, like, for example, you can get like home cooked meals. you have 24 hours to nursing care and health care, and they are part of the Max Healthcare group as well, which gives them a distinct advantage over anybody else who wants to do a senior living. Because one of the important things when you're doing senior living is that you've got to have a very solid healthcare partner. And Max has a lot of experience in that space. So overall, I would not even call it as senior living. I would say that it's living with a community in one of the greenest spaces in Noida with the finest amenities, with the added benefits of having 24 by 7 healthcare facilities as well, right? And one of the things that we also need to remember is that in India, urban crimes are on the rise. So it's really very dangerous for an old couple or for an old person to live. Not even if that person is fit in terms of mental as well as physical health, there's always this danger lurking around. Household people, household help indulging in crime. So we read that in the newspaper every day. So this is a very, very safe and a secure society. And I think this is probably the finest example of its kind in all of India.
Thank you.
Mr. Mehta, we'll come to you. Could you help our viewers with details such as the launch and expected possession date of Antara in Noida?
So actually, a sample apartment will get ready by end of June. We would have got ready by March, but unfortunately the lockdown forced us to close everything. And I think by end of 2024, early 25 is when we start handing over possession. It's a project over 2 phases. The first phase is about 350 apartments. So we will, start handing over possession 3-4 years from now. But the sample apartment shall be ready about 1 month from now.
May I now request Ms. Dudeja to walk us through the project presentation? Let me also remind our viewers at this point of time to keep pouring in their questions, and we'll accommodate as many as time allows. Can we have the presentation now?
Yeah, thank you, Renuka. So as my colleagues have shared, this is really about, creating a very strong, integrated, seamless ecosystem for seniors. Antara, as the word suggests, is roots are in the Sanskrit word called Antar, of making a difference. We are part of a very large, well-respected group across India, which is associated with businesses of life. We have Max Life Insurance, Max Healthcare, Max India Limited, Max Ventures Industries, about $2.5 billion in revenue, 10 million customers, 25,000 employees, 70,000 agents, about 1.4 million real estate commercial. Half of it has been developed and half is underway. So it's really part of a very large conglomerate, and therefore we are uniquely placed to bring together the competencies of healthcare, hospitality, and real estate to offer the best to our seniors. Move forward, please. I think one of the things that really drives us is that how do you become, if I can use the word, a platform or the Amazon to seniors, and become a loved and trusted brand. So if you're independent and healthy, we offer you residences. You can opt for a serene environment like Dehradun, which is more resort style, or you can opt for an urban life on your own terms in Noida. These are independent living units, where you stay in your own house, but you have access to all services, from medical healthcare to engagement services to concierge services to club, etc. If you're not well and you need assistance on a daily basis with a helper or a nurse to do with mobility, medication, etc., then we have smaller units called care home for seniors. These are about 30-35 rooms, again in the midst of residential colonies. First two coming up in the NCR, in Gurgaon and in Delhi. And you have 24 by 7 nursing. There's boarding, there's lodging, there is engagement, there's a community feeling, there are common areas. You have doctors, physiotherapy, but a larger element of healthcare proportion in the care home for seniors. And unfortunately, if seniors who suffer from mental disorders, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, we have separate memory care homes. These are larger facilities, and the infrastructure and nursing is customized to help the seniors. If you don't want to shift to a assisted living home but still want the same service, then we provide the same service at home. from nurse to critical care nursing to end of life care to physiotherapy to X-rays, diagnostics, pharmacy, whatever you need, but focused on seniors. So while these are real estate enabled products, which give you a full seamless service for all your needs. Move on, Renuka. This really represents our value system and our soul. As I said, it's a real estate enabled product, not a pure real estate offering. We firmly believe in impacting quality of life and helping seniors age gracefully. Just because the calendar said you're 60 does not mean that you don't deserve the best. And that's our belief. So we focus on holistic wellness, from yoga to meditation to libraries, to cooking events, to art therapy, to access to medical counselors, to mental well-being counselors as well. We offer you definitely holistic wellness. Each facility has dedicated areas for healthcare and for the club. So this really is the soul of Antara. This is what our differentiator is. Move on, please. So to exemplify what I said, I will hand over to Renuka to tell you how we designed our Dehradun product, and then Sanjay will take you through the Noida offering, which is the focus for today's discussion. Renuka, over to you. You're on mute, Renuka.
Renuka, you're on mute.
Can you all hear me now?
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Rajit. I'm going to quickly take you all through a video that will give you a glimpse of life at Antara and at Antara Dehradun, and then I'll talk you through some of it. So that was Antara Dehradun in a very quick glance for all of you. The residents over there, like I shared earlier, over 90 families who are living there. These people that you saw in the video, they're all real people, all real activities, real spaces. This is the life that they are living over there. And right now in this pandemic, while our
No
residents are all
stress,
stuck
only feeling blessed.
over there, the community is locked down. Some of our residents have shared what they feel during this time, and I thought this will be an appropriate time to share that with you. So I'll quickly share with you what they have to say.
I believe it was worth our decision to come to Antara. We are just a year, as I said, we just completed our year, and we cannot thank our decision and Antara staff. And kudos to them. These 85 people who have come in and serving that with the leadership and the way they have evolved the processes, discussing interactively with the resident council all this while for the last 2 months. Thanks to all of you and God bless. Thank you.
That was Mr. Dipankar Sanyal. Now I'd share with you what Mrs. Kapoor has to say.
No stress, only feeling blessed in this, crisis of our lockdown. My stay at Antara has been absolutely lovely. The GM and the entire staff here has been looking after us really well. The meals are brought in beautifully to our apartments. If we want to eat at home, we can eat at home. If we want to eat at the restaurant, they have designated tables for each families to go and sit there and have their meals. My coffee, my cappuccino has been brought home. I don't have to stress about running a home other than just the beds and the dusting being done. The housekeeping staff comes and sanitizes each and every doorknob and handlers everywhere, so to look after us and keep us safe. And there's no stress on that we have to keep ration or stock up the home, because everything has been taken care of over here by Antara. Thank you so much for looking after us so well.
So yeah, that you heard from our residents how they feel, and there are many such stories, and we can really just go on and on. During the time of pandemic, we've taken some very strict measures to keep our residents safe. We've locked down the community. No outsiders are coming. Some 80+ of our team members are living inside the community. We have given them boarding lodging so that they don't go out and come in. There is no exposure. All kinds of necessities are taken care within the community. There's a specially trained team for taking care of medical emergencies. They are taking care of the residents over here, and we are keeping them safe, really. I'll hand it over to Sanjay for Noida.
Thank you, Renuka. Thank you so much. I have already spoken about, why we chose Noida and why we chose Sector 150 for our next community after very successfully operationalizing the Dehradun community. What I want to say over here is that we really understand the wholesome life our seniors have lived or have been living. And at Antara, we want you and your parents to experience this next chapter of life as a new beginning without any hassles in the company of like-minded people, where you can live life on your own terms. Renuka, can we have the video, please?
Sure, Sanjay.
Driven by the philosophy of genuine spirit of care and an eye for detail, Antara Noida Phase 1 by the Max Group invites you to experience the Antara way of life. The success of Antara Dehradun has led us to extend this unique idea of a modern independent community for seniors to Antara Noida, homes built with love and supported by a legacy of care. Come experience a new urban life on your own terms. Conveniently located in Sector 150, Antara Noida Phase 1 is a well-connected commune of independent senior living residences that understand your love for an urban life and modern amenities. With 3 residences, Antara Noida Phase 1 is spread over more than 16,000 square meters. Each apartment is tailor-made for seniors and offers an active and engaged life for the residents. We offer 3 apartment types enclosed within a well-designed community that offers exclusivity as well as multi-level safety and security. At the heart of the community lies the Antara Club, equipped with round-the-clock state-of-the-art facilities It is spread over a luxurious 3,900 square meters and caters to all the needs of the residents. It offers a multi-cuisine dining area, a gym, spa, salon, theatre, card room, recreational spaces, as well as 24/7 primary healthcare facilities and an emergency response team that remains accessible throughout the day. It also features an exquisite indoor pool that can be enjoyed in any season. With more than 80% open area, the green landscape is completely devoid of vehicular traffic. Moving around the community is extremely convenient with separate walking and golf cart tracks. Each tower has vehicular approach from the basement as well as pedestrian and golf cart access on the ground level. Over the years, we have refined Antara's design philosophy, which has its foundation in the endeavor to improve the quality of life through thoughtful design. Our fully finished residences offer a host of pre-installed amenities tailored specifically for seniors. These include emergency response buttons, rounded wall edges, anti-skid flooring, sensory lighting, and wheelchair access. The apartments come with fully equipped modular kitchens and large wraparound balconies that reveal breathtaking panoramas of the central landscaping and the upcoming golf course. Step into your future and experience a new urban life on your own terms. Choose the next chapter of a well-lived life with Antara Noida.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Antara Noida for you. Renuka, if we can move on to the next slide, please.
Yeah,
Thank you, Renuka. And
yeah.
Our apartments, in Antara, Noida, they come fitted with senior-friendly features, not only in the apartment, but throughout the community level. There are design interventions which make the life very safe and secure for our senior residents. To name some of these interventions, for example, the panic alarms for emergency in each apartment, in each room, anti-skid flooring, wider doors and large windows, wheelchair turning radius everywhere within the apartment, grab bars in the toilets and bathroom, electrical controls and switches at convenient height, ambient lighting, two-way switches for ease of motion and convenience, motion sensor lighting in the apartments, rounded corners to ensure smooth edges. So all these design interventions, these are some of them. There are scores of many more which have been applied. In fact, very proud to share with all of you that our community in Dehradun and likewise in Noida as well is going to be fully compliant with all the regulations and the design requirements under ADA, that is American with Disability Act. Our apartments come with fully finished stage, so the complete air conditioning, wardrobes, cupboards, fully modular kitchens with pre-installed whiteboards like refrigerator, chimney, hob, microwave, water purifier system. All electrical fittings, lighting, fans, exhaust fans, geysers, top of the line sanitary ware, and CP fittings in the bathroom and toilets, shower glass panels, emergency lights with UPS, mosquito panels on all the doors which are opening externally. The point I want to make over here is that our offering comes in fully plug and play state. Our residents need to move in with their furnishing and furniture and can start enjoying the life at Antara Noida. The complete eye for detail, that is the Antara way of life, is demonstrated and displayed in each and every aspect of our apartments and our community. As Rajit mentioned, Antara is not a pure play real estate offering. It's an amalgam of life care, lifestyle, and hospitality. So keeping in line with that promise, the primary healthcare services, which are available 24/7, emergency response system, physiotherapy facilities, wellness rooms, and so on and so forth, are being provided in Antara community to ensure that our residents live a very healthy and active life. Uh, at heart of every Antara community is the Antara Club. At Noida, we have a 40,000 square feet of clubhouse, which hosts all the modern facilities and modern amenities available to our residents. Renuka has already spoken about, and in the video you have seen the kind of amenities we have. The other big differentiator that we have in Antara Noida as compared to any other real estate is the resident engagement activities. As, as Rajit mentioned about our philosophy on pillars of wellness, we see our residents living a very healthy, active life on all the pillars of wellness, which transcend beyond the physical wellness. Uh, whether we talk about emotional wellness, social wellness, environmental wellness, and so on and so forth, and to keep them engaged in a very meaningful manner, there is a whole range of resident engagement activities, a very busy calendar of daily activities to ensure that our residents they do not confine themselves to their apartment. They come down to the club, enjoy the facilities over there, and engage in these activities, and live a very meaningful, active life. Renuka, if we can move on. Just to share some numbers with you, in phase one, we are curating 340 apartments in 3 different layouts and sizes. And within these 3 layouts, we have 9 different sub-layouts. We have not followed the cookie-cutter approach where an apartment over an apartment of the same size is there. There are many different layouts depending upon the individual needs of our clients. Apartments with larger balconies, smaller balconies, with the deck areas, and so on and so forth. The smallest apartment in Antara, Noida is a 2-bedroom apartment with living and dining area, kitchen, 2 balconies, utility balcony. And in terms of super built area, it's around 1,500 square feet. And the pricing of these apartments under construction link plan begins at 1.08 crores and goes up to 1.17 crore in the 2-bedroom category. Then we have 3-bedroom apartments where the area ranges from 2,155 square feet and goes up to nearly 2,500 square feet. And pricing under construction link plan begins at 1.57 crores and goes up to 1.87 crores. And then there are few apartments, which have configuration of 3-bedroom along with a caregiver room, kitchen, living area, dining area, balconies, utility balcony, multi-purpose room. And the super built area for these apartments ranges from 2,850 square feet and goes up to 3,000 square feet. And the price band is from 2 crore rupees and goes up to 2.2 crore rupees. I would also want to add over here that the pricing that I have shared with you is an all-inclusive pricing without any asterisk or without any hidden cost. This includes the GST, this includes the club membership fee, this includes the car park, this includes the lease rental, and also 12 months of advanced maintenance charges once we hand over the possession. The only cost that our residents need to bear besides this is the cost of registration and stamp duty. And would also not be out of place to mention that what we are offering is an escalation-free pricing. The price that we are quoting today, which is a launch price, and we're not going to escalate this price for the people who book their apartments. So it's escalation-free pricing that we're offering to our residents. We'll be very, very happy to take questions on these aspects when we reach that section. Let me also talk about a very unique industry-leading and proactive service package that we call Antara Comprehensive Benefit. All of us, we would have bought apartments in the past, and we know about the CAM, which is Common Area Maintenance. But a very unique package that we have created, it's not only restricted to the maintenance of the common areas. There are many, many more features. Once again, let me go back to when I spoke about the research that we did with the seniors, and we really understood and the issues being faced by them. So the ACB is a service package which addresses all the core needs of the residents, which are senior residents, which they felt were the pain areas for them. Renuka, if we move on to the next slide, please. I mean, there, at Antara, what we're offering is a fully service environment. A fully functional, safe and secure service environment where our residents have absolute independence to curate their lifestyle. All our services that we are offering, one bunch of services is packaged in a way where all the residents must subscribe to these services. These are called the Antara Comprehensive Benefit Services. And then there are additional services, services like cuisine, housekeeping, and so on and so forth, which are available on menu, and residents can, pick and choose those services, opt in and opt out, which gives them a larger amount of flexibility to manage their, monthly operating costs. So if you're talking about the Antara Comprehensive Benefit, the services which are included in ACB, primarily besides the safety and security and the maintenance of the common areas, having the asset replacement fund for all the assets which are there in the common areas, including lifts, TG sets, and so on and so forth, which largely is available in the residential condominiums. But besides that, what we're offering, offerings which are unique to Antara, is the day-long access to the club and all the facilities in the club, and participation in all the resident engagement activities. Allow me to take one odd minute over here. So just say, for example, you wish to go for a yoga session in the morning, and you participate in the yoga session. There would be yoga instructor, but you don't have to pay separately for that. It's part of the ACB. In the evening, you want to go and watch a movie in the company of your friends. You watch a movie in a very plush theater in Antara Club, but you don't have to pay for that. It is all covered in the ACB. In the afternoon, when you go for your hobby classes, painting, woodcraft, pottery, photography, cuisine, and so on and so forth, you participate in all these programs, but you don't have to pay separately for all these activities. It's all including in the ACB. Then there are the wellness services, unlimited nursing consultations for our residents. So we'll have doctor, nursing staff, physiotherapy specialists being part of Antara community. And our residents can access nursing staff for unlimited nursing consults. They will also have access to the specialized health consults, 24 such health consults with well-qualified doctors in a year. The availability of paramedics and emergency response team to take care of any kind of emergency, whether medical or otherwise, during the stay of our residents in Antara is also part of the ACB charges. And of course, needless to say, the common area housekeeping, landscaping, water charges, Wi-Fi, and so on and so forth. These form part of ACB package. And the convenience that we offer to our residents is access to golf carts to compute within the community, concierge desk, the Wi-Fi zones within the clubhouse and within the common areas in the community, which makes life extremely hassle-free and convenient for our residents. And the charges for this package, for this unique package, they range from 9,000 rupees to 19,000 rupees per month, depending upon the size of the apartment. So typically for a type C apartment, these charges would be in the range from 9,000 to 10,000 rupees per month, which is a 2-bedroom apartment. And for the largest 3-bedroom apartment with caregiver room, the charges would be in the range from 17,000 rupees to 19,000 rupees per month. If we can move on.
I can just add here, Sanjay, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please, sir.
In case you want certainty and say, I also want an escalation-free, maintenance, feature where the ACB amount is fixed for 10 years, that also is possible. There's a marginal adjustment we do to the capital cost, but we can also offer you a escalation-free maintenance charge for 10 years as well.
Yes, Rajit, thank you so much. Thanks for reminding me. So in conclusion, what we are offering is Antara Noida is part of an upcoming golfing community, 24/7 primary healthcare and emergency response team, a philosophy that ensures emotional, mental, and physical well-being, easily accessible in Sector 150 amidst intergenerational communities all around Antara community. Active and engaging lifestyle with specially curated resident engagement programs, um, the finest quality and yet affordable. So that, in nutshell, is Antara Noida for you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Team Antara, for a very comprehensive, detailed presentation. We'll quickly move on to the audience question, keeping in interest of the time. The first question comes in from one of the viewers, Mr. Rangarajan. Can those closer to retirement avail of home loans? Are banks ready for that, Mr. Rangarajan?
Well, if you look at banks, typically, if you look at a scheme offered by, let's say, State Bank of India, so they offer it up to any time up to 75 years. But the issue is post-retirement, if you want to avail a home loan, banks will be open to that, but you cannot get the same tenure. So let's say you're 40 and if you're taking a home loan, you can get a tenure of like 20 years. But if you're, let's say, beyond 50, 55, 60, and then you're looking for a home loan, banks may sanction it to you, but the tenure would be less.
Thank you. The next question comes in from Karthik Muralidharan from Delhi. This is for Mr. Mehta. Ideally, at what age can I buy this property? My wife and I are in our late 40s and we like to invest in a senior living project and perhaps even retire early. Can I buy now, or is there any age limit to buy and occupy it? Mr. Mehta?
Yeah, ideally we prefer people who are around 50 years right now, or a co-applicant who's 50. So anybody younger than 50 wants to buy, and we have a co-applicant as a parent who's over 50. However, if you want to buy, if you want to still buy the apartments, we are willing to do exceptional, approvals. But if you don't stay yourself, we would then request you to rent it out to seniors. On the other hand, if you buy it and you want to stay with your parents, you're more than welcome. There are very limited restrictions.
Mr. Rangarajan, can you help me with this as well? Jeremy from Kochi is asking, how can PropTiger help me with this purchase and transaction, and at what cost?
Well, PropTiger is zero brokerage, and we can certainly, we have your contact details. So one of our relationship managers will get in touch with you, and we'll help you all the way through, right till the time you move into the building. We would be there along with you.
Okay. Ms. Dudeja, we have a question coming in from Peter Mukhopadhyay from Greenwich. My parents live in Delhi and I am an NRI. I wish to buy this property for them. I'm 34 years old. Can I buy, or do I have to buy it in my parents' name?
So if you're, like Rajit just answered the question, if you're less than 50 years, then you need a co-applicant who's above 50 to buy the property. Hence, it's advisable to buy, along with your parent as one of the co-applicant. Yeah.
However, if you want to buy it for your parents to stay there in your own name, we can consider that exception as well.
Yeah.
Vincent Pereira from Delhi is asking us, I've gone through all the details. I wish to understand that after my wife and I, will this property devolve upon our son and will he be able to sell it? Mr. Bhatia, would you help us answer that?
Of course, yes. I must say that the way all other properties and apartments in Noida are being bought and sold, the Antara model is exactly the same. Although in Dehradun we have a different lease model, but in Noida, all the apartments are being sold in a 90-year lease from the government, from the Noida Authority. And this is again and recognized as a freehold sale. So to answer this question specifically, after a residents pass away, this property will be bequeathed and will go to the legal heir, and they will have a right either to stay there or to dispose of the manner in which they deem.
What is the food facility like? What are the extra charges approximately? This is a question we're getting from Anu Shankar from Kulaba. Ms. Dudeja?
Sure. Like Rajit and Sanjay both in their conversation have mentioned a little bit, our philosophy for food is very, very simple. Keeping in mind seniors, we create ghar ka khana, as we call it, which is home-like food. It is cooked with a lot of care and special attention to special needs. There's a separate calendar which is maintained by the kitchen while cooking for residents in case they have any medical conditions, then that is kept in mind. But I can tell you the ghar ka khana is really as simple as the ghar ka khana, and it costs as minimal as 30 to 40 rupees per dish, meaning a vegetarian combination could cost you anything 200 rupees a meal, and a non-vegetarian perhaps 400 rupees. So it's that simple. But we also have other restaurants to choose from, and there are a la carte options as well.
Okay. Yes, Vishwajit Prasad asking us, are the services managed by Max? What if my family is looking to keep domestic help for cooking and cleaning? Is that allowed? Mr. Mehta.
So apart from the building facilities, which could be outsourced to maintain the building, all medical services, all club services, all engagement services to make sure that people are physically and cognitively stimulated are managed by Max. You're free to keep your domestic help. That is the choice that you make. It's your home.
Mr. Rangarajan, here's a question we've received from Rohit Kedat from Bandra. I want your help regarding asset planning. I'm 36 years old. By when should I start planning for my retirement? I'm financially stable, but I haven't purchased a property yet, and I'll be moving to different cities every 2 to 3 years. Mr. Rangarajan.
I wonder if Mr. Rangarajan is
I
on
don't
the
know whether
call.
he's dropped off.
I think he got dropped out. Rajit, would you like to take the question
Yeah, all
over?
I can say is it's the right time, my friend. It's quite opportune. Don't miss the bus this time. Right time to look at properties, whichever location you are, you are comfortable with. But if you're looking for senior living, then as Mr. Rangarajan said, we offer you the finest facilities in Dehradun and in Noida.
Thank you. Mr. Bhatia, we have a question coming in from Kapil Aluwalia from Mumbai. Is there any price protection or discounts available for high intent buyers? I am a 45-year-old Mumbai-based business owner, and my parents live in Noida. I want them to move to this property. Mr. Bhatia.
So as I mentioned, while I was sharing details of the project, that this is a launch price. And we're also offering an escalation-free price guarantee to our buyers. And this launch price, in around 90 days of time, we will be reviewing this price and will go under a revision in all likelihood. And also, as Rajit also explained, in terms of an inflation-proof product, we can customize and create a product which is where the monthly maintenance charges or the ACB charges for certain number of years, 10 years, we can provide an inflation-proof product.
Sanjay, also talk about the timely payment discounts.
Oh yeah, of course, needless to say. So once I thought once we reach the stage, with the clients, I would be sharing that. A very unique offering that we have for our clients from PropTiger, that if you're choosing a construction link plan, so there are going to be some 15, 16 milestones when you would be making your payments to demand would be raised and you would be making payment. And every time you make a payment on time, a certain amount of discount is a reward kind of is credited to your account and adjusted in the next installment. And this reward could be as high as 3% of the total cost.
There's another question coming in from Swaraj and Bindu Chauhan from Karnal, who's asking, we often need to visit a physiotherapist. Are such facilities available? Also, are there any concierge services? We do not mind paying extra, but want to make sure before approaching PropTiger and the developer. Mr. Mehta?
Yeah, physiotherapy services are available at a charge. Really depends on what your need is. They're available on call. As I said earlier, we are uniquely placed to have healthcare competencies inside the group, and we have tie-ups with most hospitals. So yes, the physiotherapy is available. Concierge services also are available at a charge. All are available.
We'll move to the next question. I think we've already covered this, but I think Pankaj Ahluwalia might have joined us late. How much is the approximate maintenance cost of this property if I go in for a 3 BHK? Mr.
The maintenance cost, actually calling it maintenance cost would be a misnomer, because the services that we are offering, they go much beyond the common area maintenance, which normally people are used to and expect from a developer. The comprehensive Antara benefit plan, which takes care of the maintenance and healthcare facilities, engagement programs, a day-long access to the clubhouse, and so on and so forth. The monthly charges would be in the range from 9,000 rupees and going up to 19,000 rupees. Typically, for a 3-bedroom apartment, this would be in the range of between 14 to 16,000 rupees, depending upon the layout chosen by the resident.
The next question is from Arjun Rao from Perth. Is Noida too fast moving for seniors? I would have ideally liked to put this to Mr. Rangarajan, but I think he had to leave due to some pre-commitments. Anybody from Team Antara who could answer that?
Of course. I think Noida is quite uniquely placed. It offers you best of both the worlds. It's 25-30 minutes away from city center, 45 minutes away from the airport, which is the Indira Gandhi International Airport, and yet quite away from the noise and pollution. It's a well-planned city, and we have chosen the greenest sector. It's about 80% construction free. It's got a biodiversity park. Has also got golf courses running throughout. So it's quite a good blend of both kinds of life.
Thank you. Thank you, panelists, for an insightful session. Now, before we wind up, I'd like to go ahead with a closing remark, starting with you, Mr. Mehta.
Sure. So first of all, thank you to all the people who joined us. Thank you to PropTiger for organizing this. I think this is quite a unique offering coming from a very unique brand, which is trusted and blends all competencies to create a very seamless, integrated ecosystem to meet all senior needs. So thank you very much again for joining and listening to us.
Thank you. Mr. Bhatia.
Yeah, I will once again thank everyone who is here on this call. And I wish and pray for continued good health and well-being for you, your family members, and your elders and seniors. Me and my team members will be very, very happy and glad to serve you, and to answer all your questions, queries, to utmost satisfaction, your utmost satisfaction, to take this entire discussion forward.
Well, yes, thank you everyone for listening, sparing your time. We are right now in quite tough times. The whole world is faced with challenges, and I can assure you, just the way we've taken very, very special care of all our residents at Antara, Dehradun, we are very, like Rajit says, very nicely placed to take care of your seniors and give them a very good life. So in case you are considering a senior living community, you know where to look for. Thank you again.
We'll care for elders like our own.
Yes.
Thank you, panelists, for being with us today and answering the queries, although I can see a lot of questions that are still unanswered, but we need to make sure that all our viewers are satisfied with the answers that they get. We'll connect with the developer team yet again to fetch you all the answers. Thank you, viewers, once again for joining us on Project Talk. We hope to have answered some of your queries today. Should you have any questions, our representatives will get back to you. You could use our social media handles to drop in these questions.
Thank you.
Till yet another episode of Project Talk. Stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye.